Laura Mayer here with 5 Minutes to Freedom. Thank you for joining me this week. I haven't done a video in a couple of weeks. We have had major flooding where I live, and the kids have been home, and it's just been kind of crazy. So I've gotten out of my schedule. But so I had something I wanted to share with you today before I go get kids. I've been at home all day. I have no makeup on. My hair is not done. But hey, it's real life. So I just wanted to come and bring you this bit of information. I know a point of frustration a lot of times, and I don't know if it's especially with us women, because women do tend to be a little bit more relational maybe than the men are. But something that we can get very frustrated with at times is when other people in our lives are not doing what we want them to do. Or more specifically, maybe we feel like we're pulling our weight in an area and they're just not. They're not bringing to the table what we need for them to bring, whether it's a family member or a friend, or maybe somebody really disappointed you, or maybe it's all these relational issues though, where someone else has fallen short of our expectation when we had trust in them. And depending on your personality, depending on your background and kind of what your makeup is, you might turn inward and get real pouty and not want to talk to anybody and play the quiet game, which is not healthy for you or them. It doesn't solve the problem. Or you may get real aggressive. You may decide that, by golly, if you want something done, you better do it yourself, and might get aggressive with them, towards them, demand your way, frighten people into obeying you. That's not healthy either. And so that's kind of two separate ends of the spectrum of how sometimes we handle it when people are failing us. And so I know this is something that I was the first person. I would turn very inward, and I would feel almost guilty for needing something from another human being. Like maybe I was putting too much pressure. If I was more, if I could just be better, if I could perform at a higher level, then I wouldn't need their help. And that since they're obviously not wanting to give me help, maybe it was wrong for me to even ask. And so anyway, but I would just live in so much frustration. And the Lord started talking to me one time about who I was putting my trust in and how I was demanding things from other humans that humans were not meant to give. They're not meant to be your full sense of completeness. And what it makes me think about is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. And some of us are familiar with that. It says to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths. And I think the key part there is trust in the Lord. See, when you trust in something, you're building a foundation in your life. It's like if my trust is in the people around me and the relationships around me, I'm building my foundation on them. And so if they come through or don't come through determines whether I'm feeling shaky and rocky. And fear is at the root of our negative responses. Whether we get all pouty or we get aggressive, at the root of it is still fear. It's just we respond different. We're afraid that their decision is going to mess up our lives. Or if we can't get them to if we can't control them, that somehow our lives lose control. And so we've made them our foundation. They're not meant to be that. That's like the foolish man building his house upon the sand versus the wise man building his house upon the Lord. So what the Lord started teaching me is that anytime I started getting really frustrated with someone, to stop and realize that I had made them a foundation of some sort in my life, that I was depending too much on them to have the final say. That yes, it's important to have dialogue in your relationships. It's important to communicate with people that are supposed to be a team member in your life. And everybody should be pulling equal share, but it doesn't have to rock your world when they don't. And so that's the freedom I just wanted to share with you today, that some of you are very frustrated with some relationships in your life. Pull back and say, hold on, if I trust in the Lord in this area, and I know He's going to provide, He's going to take care of me, maybe He's going to show me how to have a conversation with this person, but at the root of it, that person is not my source. They may be a resource that the Lord uses at times, but they're not my source. When you start viewing relationships like that, it's amazing the pressure that comes off of them and off of you, because you're putting your trust where it's supposed to be, on the Lord, and He promises that He will direct your paths. He'll show you what to do, and He'll add the things to your life that are supposed to be added. So, be blessed. Have an awesome day. Catch me at lauramayer.org on here on Facebook, on Instagram, sorta. I'm trying to get better at Instagram, still learning. And videos are uploaded to YouTube. Talk to you later.